Anyway mga kabarya, sa video nating ito pag-uusapan natin ang mga PSE stock balitang ating nakalap ngayong November 14, 2021. Saka dito pala guys sa ating Kabarya Avenue PH YouTube channel, sinishare natin yung ating experience at dinodocument yung ating pag-aaral sa mga nakita nating pangmasang Pinoy investment at potential digital assets in investment na pwede tayong kumita kagaya ng stock market, Pag-ibig MP2 Savings and Investment Program, GCash investment, cryptocurrencies and altcoins gaya ng Bitcoin, Cardano, Dogecoin, Binance, Litecoin, Chainlink and Ethereum at iba pang pangmasang Pinoy investment. Kaya guys, kung trip at korsonada mo ng ganitong mga content, pwede mo ring pindutin yung red subscribe button dyan sa baba para ma-update ka pa ng ating mga latest na ina-upload na video tungkol sa ating pag-aaral ng mga pangmasang Pinoy investment at potential digital assets in investment naman. Alright, bago natin umpisahan guys, huwag nyo palang kalimutang basahin yung disclaimer na nasa screen ng ating video. Okay guys, ladies and gentlemen, sa bidyong ito tatalakayin natin ang mga PSE stock balita update na ating nakalap ngayong November 14, 2021. Kaya kung ready na kayo, let's jump in! Ang ating unang PSE stock balita from GMA News Online dated November 12, 2021. PSE OK's IPO of Solar Philippines subsidiary. Basahin natin. The Philippine Stock Exchange Incorporated, PSE, said Friday it has given the green light of Solar Philippines wholly owned unit Solar Philippines Nueva Ecija Corporation, SPNEC, to conduct an initial public offering, IPO, to raise funds for its solar farm in the province. I am pleased that PSE can support a renewable energy company with its fundraising requirements. The need for renewable energy is more amplified now as more companies are turning to renewable energy as part of their climate action program, PSE President and CEO Ramon Monzon said in a statement. SPNEC will offer up to 2.7 billion shares at a price of up to 1 peso apiece. The target offer period is from December 1 up to December 7, 2021. Maganda ito para sa mga korsonadang magbet ng investment sa industry ng renewable energy company. Ang ating new player sa renewable energy ay nagkaroon na ng approval sa kanyang IPO o yung tinatawag na Initial Public Offering. Ang ating SPNEC o kilala bilang Solar Philippines Nueva Ecija Corporation. At target nilang i-offer ito sa ating PSE stock market by first week of December 2021. Okay? Ikalawa nating stock balita from Business World dated ito ng November 9, 2021. Prutas to acquire Sure Health and foray into healthcare business. Ang ating prutas o si fruit ay pumasok na sa business industry ng healthcare o medical clinic and facilities. Basahin natin at alamin. Listed food and beverage store operator Prutas Holdings Incorporated entered an agreement to acquire 100% of shares of its healthcare provider, Sure Health Multi-Specialty and Diagnostic Clinic Corporation, to take advantage of the growing demand for healthcare services in the Philippines. Prutas will acquire 100% of Sure Health under the agreement, which will include its assets like medical equipment, specialized manpower, and a physical clinic at Santa Mesa in Manila. The transaction is subject to execution of definitive agreements and closing is expected within 2 months. Consideration will be paid through cash and is below 10% of the total assets and book value of Prutas as June 30, 2021. the company said in a disclosure to the stock exchange on Monday. Maganda rin itong bagong business venture ni Prutas na pasukin itong healthcare and medical clinic, lalo na't isa ito sa pangunahing kailangan ng ating community na pangkalusugan at makakatulong din para sugpuin ang mga virus kagaya ng ating COVID-19. Okay? Sunod nating stock balita from ABS-CBN News dated November 11, 2021. San Miguel Food and Beverage posts 24.2 billion pesos net income in January up to September 2021. Manila San Miguel Food and Beverage Incorporated on Thursday said its net income for the first 9 months of the year rose 68% to 24.2 billion pesos. Consolidated revenues for the period were up 14% to 221.7 billion pesos compared to the same period last year, San Miguel Food and Beverage said in a disclosure on the stock exchange. Sunod na stock balita update from GME News dated November 12, 2021. Ayala Corporation books 19.4 billion pesos net income in January up to September 2021. Conglomerate Ayala Corporation grew its net income by 70% in the first 9 months of year 2021 to 19.4 billion pesos on the back of improved performance of most of its business units. At isa pang medyo nakarecover ang net income ngayong third quarter ng year 2021 from Philstar Global dated ito ng November 9, 2021. Robinsons Land 9-month net income up 47%. At iyan ang kagandahan kapag inaral mo ang isang stock na may strong fundamentals at may mga potential project ventures. Buy and forget and let the market decide. As long as the pandemic is not yet over, ito yung chance to position your portfolio sa ating stock market. And after the fight of pandemic, the economy will start to recover. And by that time, dapat ready na yung ating portfolio para sa mga napili nating pang long-term stock and let the market decide. Okay? Okay, bago tayo matapos, alamin muna natin ang summary ng kaganapan ng ating PSE Stock Market Philippines ngayong linggo, November 14, 2021. From ABS-CBN News, dated ito ng November 11, 2021. Philippine shares fall anew as profit-taking continues. The Philippine Stock Exchange Index shrugged off strong earnings reports as it extended its losing streak to a second straight day. Okay, i-play natin itong video update na kuha ng ating ABS-CBN News. I-play natin at panoorin. 1, 2, 3.
Philippine stocks fell for a second day as profit-taking continued. Also weighing on investor sentiment, 30-year high inflation in the U.S. stoking fears of policy tightening. For the day, the PSE index shed more than 0.5% to close at 73.31. Foreign funds net selling the local bourse by 756 million pesos. Manulife Investment Management's Kenglin Tan says, overall, minus the daily swings, they're still overweight on Philippine stocks on valuation and fundamental reasons.
The market may have gone ahead of the earnings recovery that we will be expecting from the reopening of the Philippines economy. But I think in due course, earnings will be able to catch up as the economy continues to recover. I think we have to be a little bit more patient. I think businesses are trying to adapt and try to catch up. So we may need about 3 to 6 months to see the impact of the economy coming out of the lockdown. We're very optimistic about the outlook of the country. And we believe the impact from the COVID is more temporary.
Meanwhile, Fitch Ratings Sagalika Chandra says while the upbeat third quarter GDP bodes well for the fourth quarter and full year growth prospects, it doesn't necessarily mean an upgrade in ratings for the Philippines. The agency will still need to evaluate several factors.
Rating and the outlook, I think the key drivers of the main reason for us to take a negative rating action on the outlook, the rating is still BBB, was really our concerns around the medium-term macroeconomic prospects. The key factor is the macro policy framework and whether that will stay intact or in place once pandemic recedes. And we have some concerns around that. And also in the medium-term potential growth for Philippines, the potential scarring from the pandemic.
In corporate stories, San Miguel Food and Beverage posts solid 9-month earnings with net income hitting 24.2 billion pesos, up 68%, as all business units registered double-digit growth. From the food business that already exceeded 2019 pre-pandemic revenues, to the beer business, which saw a 13% growth despite stricter quarantine measures in the third quarter and liquor bans in several areas. The company hopes the worst is behind it and that it's now on the path to a new and better normal. Still on earnings, Emperador's profit for the first 9 months of the year of 7.9 billion pesos, already matching 2020's full-year net income. This thanks to strong international brandy business led by Fundador. The company is confident 2021 will be another banner year and 2022 will be even better as the economy further reopens. And fiber broadband operator Converge ICT more than doubled its net income in the third quarter to 1.9 billion pesos, bringing profit in the January to September period to 5.2 billion, also more than double the same period last year, amid a strong demand for connectivity. The company ended the third quarter with 1.6 million residential subscribers, a 75% increase year-on-year. As of end September, Converge's network has reached over 9.6 million homes, on track to hit its accelerated target to cover approximately 55% of Philippine households by 2023. And finally, Ayala Corporation signs a 10-year social bond through a private placement by the International Finance Corporation for $100 million. Proceeds will be used to support growth of the group's healthcare arm, Ayala Healthcare Holdings. The transaction, to be settled in January next year, also marks the first social bond earmarked for healthcare-related purpose in the Philippines. Michelle Long, ABS-CBN News.
At ito naman yung kasunod na PSE Index Update from ABS-CBN News pa rin, dated November 12, 2021. PSEI recovers from 2-day slump amid strong earnings. PSE Index recovers from a 2-day slump as investors digest strong earnings reports and the latest MSCI rebalancing results, Michelle Ong reports. I-play din natin. 1, 2, 3.
Philippine stocks steady on Friday, joining most Asian markets higher as Chinese tech stocks recovered. Japheth Tantiangco, Senior Research Supervisor at PhilStocks Financial, says the market is watching out for further easing of pandemic restrictions.
We're not seeing it touching 8,000 by year end. At most, the highest range of our projection for this year is at 7,608.
Filipino investors also digesting MSCI rebalancing news, with AC Energy and Mondanisin added to the MSCI Philippine Index, while A-REIT, PhilREIT, and Lusitan Group are added to the small cap index. First Metro Securities Aaron Sai sees some downward pressure from the technicals.
The daily chart might have caused some cheers on Tuesday, when it broke and even closed the day above the January 2021's high around 7,432. So however, what followed it was a bearish engulfing pattern, which was followed through by yesterday's down move. So I think as far as the price action is concerned so far, clearly there was a price rejection on the part of the market. While it still can be a shallow correction, and we'll know it if it is. We'll know if it can go above the 7,500, to negate the bearish engulfing pattern that we saw 2 days ago. I think it opens up the possibility, that what the monthly chart has been warning us about might actually be something to consider, and I think that should inspire prudence, or at least some prudence.
In corporate stories, San Miguel Corporation more than doubled profit in the first 9 months of the year to 34.2 billion pesos, with Petron, San Miguel Food and Beverage, as well as SMC Infrastructure driving growth. Petron reversing its 12.6 billion peso net loss year-on-year to a net profit of 5 billion. Still on earnings, Ayala Corporation saw its 9-month profit grow 70% to 19.4 billion pesos, with most business units posting strong growth. From Ayala Land's 35% income growth to Globe Telecom's 13% jump and AC Industrials managing to narrow losses to 1.2 billion from a net loss of 2.1 billion a year ago. Earnings also boosted by gains from the partial divestment of its thermal assets and AC Health's acquisition of Qualimed Health Network. Michelle Wong, ABS-CBN News.
Alright, at yan ang ating mga nakalap na PSE Stock Balita Update ngayong linggong ito, November 14, 2021. Magkita ulit tayo sa ating kasunod na video. Once again, have a happy weekend Sunday. Always stay safe and God bless. Hanggang sa muli.